So Anthropic just released Claude for financial services, and in today's video, I'll show you how you can set them up and use them to analyze stocks. So essentially, one of the key things that we have here is you can see we got Claude for financial services. This is a new GitHub repo that has a vast array of different skills that you can use to analyze stocks and do many different things in the field of finances. Now, a lot of these are just, standard finance ones, but some of these are essentially really good for analyzing stocks and essentially looking at where the stock market can go when it comes to certain stocks. Now, in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using this GitHub repo, and we're going to be using Cowork to basically install the plugins so that we can then use these to analyze, get DCFs, valuations for stocks. So I saved this in my community, so I'm going to come over here and basically just want to click this link here. I don't know why Anthropic didn't put this link properly, but it was kind of confusing at first. So then what you want to do is you go to customize plus here. So you click plus and then you click upload plugin, not upload plugin, add from marketplace. Then you click paste here and then you just basically want to click sync. So it should sync and then it should pop up. And then essentially the 4 ones that you do want, I've actually got them written down. So you want the earnings reviewer. So if I go on earnings, I think I've already installed this. So earnings, I think I've already installed this one. So if you click into it, you can see the ones that it does have there. But I think I've already installed this. So yeah, you can see here, I've got my personal. So basically you just click plus. So when you see the one that you want, you just click plus. So for me, I've already got the earnings reviewer. The next one as well is the market researcher. The market researcher is going to be super useful. You can see I've downloaded this one. Then you've got the model builder. This is the one that builds models, DCFs, and filings from data feeds. Then you can see I've got the model builder here, of course. And the last one you want to make sure you install is the valuation reviewer. This checks valuations against other companies. So double checks where the price, what it kind of, is valued at. So once you've got all of that installed, we can actually start to use these to analyze stocks. So one of the first things we're actually going to do is we're going to do a DCF. Now, a discounted cash flow model, if you already know what this is, you can skip this tiny section. But this is basically a way that investors estimate what a company is truly worth based on how much money it could generate in the future. So the idea is pretty simple. Money earned years from now is worth less than the money today because of risk, inflation, and opportunity costs. So investors try to project a company's future cash flows, then discount those future profits back into today's value. And that's why AI growth stocks can move so aggressively, because if investors suddenly believe a company could dominate a massive future market, those projected future cash flows explode higher, and so does the valuation. So with this particular stock, we're going to be looking at RKLB, which is a stock that has recently been exploding in the space/data center AI market. So let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put /DCF model because that's a command. And then for me, I'm just going to add the ticker. And then what I will do is I'll set this to Opus 4.7 because it's the most capable model. So now here's the thing. When you do this, it's going to give you the option to input your user data. This is of course super useful because every single stock that you're going to use, there are different ways you can analyze them. So for me personally, I just like it to pull the information from the web because finding data is pretty extensive. So what you wanted to do is just, usually research from web, which is fine. It can use reasonable estimates, but I wouldn't do this because it's always probably going to hallucinate. So just pull that in from the web. And of course, you can see, if you have any specific financials, model templates, or notes that you want to have here, of course, you can do it. So for me, what I'm going to do, the projection period is going to be for the next 5 years. For the scenario, I'm going to use Sensible. And of course, what I will do is I'll do research. And then what I will do is the terminal growth rate. Let's just use a conservative because I don't want to, go anything crazy here. So let's go ahead and click continue. And now we just wait. So you can see Claude actually built the final DCF for RKLB. Now, RKLB is Rocket Lab USA. This is a company that has popped up pretty insanely. Now, if you don't know what a DCF is basically a calculator that basically just figures out what a company is worth today based on how much cash it might make in the future. So think about it like this. If you've got a company that is like a money machine, and if you think that the machine is going to make $100 next year, $150 a year, and then $200 a year after that, a DCF basically says how much is that future money worth today, because the money in the future is worth less than money right now. So think about it like this. If I give you $100 today, you can invest it. But if I promise you $100 in 5 years, it's not as valuable. So what this DCF is doing is it's going to do a lot of things. It's going to, forecast the future. How much revenue will the company make? So here we can see the revenue growth from 2026 all the way to 2030. We can see that it is, actually going down here. So by 30% to all the way down to 12%. Of course, it's going to estimate, profits and cash flow. So revenue isn't enough. So we're looking at values like CapEx, percentage of revenue, to all of these terminal growth rates. And all of these are like the bear case assumptions. But when we think about bear case assumptions, this still doesn't look too bad. I mean, the base case assumptions do show a pretty high revenue growth rate, but the margins we can see they don't kick in until 2030 here. So, I mean, this does show us that the company is still on a trajectory, even in the worst bear case scenario, to still be somewhat profitable here, which still looks pretty good. And then, of course, the bull case scenario, you can see that it actually kicks in earnings before the EBITDA. It actually kicks in at around 2028, which is actually pretty decent. And, you know, it's important to know that like when you're using Claude for these kind of things, a DCF is like one of the most common ways that investors value a stock. Instead of just looking at charts and, you know, all of those things, it basically just asks how much cash can this company realistically produce in the future. So it's not magic, of course. It's just numbers and values, and all of these things can change. And, you know, this is, of course, based on the assumptions that we, you know, input. So, of course, the bear case is always going to be a bit pessimistic and the bull case is going to be optimistic. But it's important to understand the scenarios where you think the market is going to go so that you can actually get a true valuation metric. And I mean, one of the things we can see here from RKLB is it's pretty insane when you actually look at the final valuation that we do get. So RKLB's current stock price, okay, right now it's like $106. It literally just popped like 48% the other day. And we can see that the implied price per share is $4.33, okay, which is absolutely insane. So it says that, you know, based on the next 5 years of projected cash flow, this stock is very expensive. But it doesn't really mean that this is a bad stock. It means that the market is pricing in a future that the DCF probably isn't fully capturing. So, you know, the valuation summary says that PV of explicit is, you know, 513 million or negative 513 million. That means 2026 to 2030, you know, it still assumes that the business is going to be burning cash overall. And I mean, when you actually look at all of this data combined, it tells us that Rocket Lab is not a normal value stock. It's kind of like being priced like a long-term call option on the future space of infrastructure. And I mean, this is one of those stocks that's really, really hype driven. So I think you do have to factor that in when you're looking at, you know, the price of the stock, because I think stocks like RKLB, it just shows that the DCF isn't as valuable because the stock is basically valued on a much bigger story. I mean, if we're just looking at simple cash projections, of course, it's completely overvalued. But when we look at the entire data center space AI race, of course, this stock could be worth a lot more or a lot less. But when you think about it, for RKLB, the DCF does matter because it shows the valuation risk and it shows how stretched the valuation is. So company might be, you know, valued highly, but investors are not paying for what Rocket Lab is today. They're paying for what they're going to become over the next decade. And that's how, you know, you kind of want to use this. So it's pretty crazy when you actually think about all of the data that we're able to get. Now, that's just one thing. There's also another thing that we can use. And so sticking on this, what I am going to use is the market researcher. Okay, and then it's actually sector overview. So I actually need to update that. So sector overview, I'm going to do RKLB. And then another thing as well is that you will hit your usage limits quite often in this. Like I've realized that when I've, done this quite a lot of times, it has hit my usage limit on other Claude accounts. So if you're doing this, you can run Opus 4.6, but I wouldn't advise it because Opus 4.7 is better and they cost the same amount of price. So for me, I'm just going to, have the Claude Max plan, and that should get you enough over the line with this. So I'm going to do a sector overview, and then it's going to come up with some more boxes. So here it says, how should I frame the sector around RKLB? And this is where we can actually look at where things are going because, of course, we have SpaceX, we have different AI companies. I mean, you could look at the full space economy here. This is, of course, one of the things that we can look at. And if you don't know what RKLB is, guys, I think, this would help. So RKLB is basically a leader in the space race in terms of how stocks are, going to be doing stuff in space. So it says it dominates the small satellite launch market with its Electron rocket and is developing a larger neutron rocket. So basically, this is kind of like a proxy to SpaceX. They're having the IPO later this year at a 1.75 trillion valuation. And there is a lot of hype flooding into the stock right now. You can literally see past day, it went up, 20%. And in the past year, it's actually, since the start of the year, it's up almost 95%. Stocks nearly doubled. So this is one of those stocks that since 2024, it's had an insane run. And that's why I'm running these valuation metrics, because I want to see just how good Claude is when it comes to the most extreme stocks. So for this one, what you want to do is you can really select whatever you want. So for me, I would actually want to look at the full space economy because I want to know how the sector is around RKLB, because the SpaceX and those other companies are going to truly be valued. So I'm going to do the full space economy and the AI data center, because this doesn't include it, but I do know, and this is why you need to make sure that when you're valuing a stock, you know at least some stuff so you can prompt it correctly. And then I'm going to say this is basically for internal research. And how deep should I go? I'm just going to do an overview of 5 to 10 pages. And then let's do a neutral landscape. And then let's say, should I include private companies? Let's do public only companies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Word docs because the Word doc is pretty useful. So for here, let's go continue and then we'll get back once this is done. So now we can see it is actually done and we can view the overview. So this is actually pretty lengthy, but I still think that these are super useful if you want a lot of information and really detailed information if you're holding the stock. So you can see here, it talks about the AI economy and the data center build out are converging into a single capital intensive infrastructure cycle. Both rely on the same building blocks: power, latency, government's anchor demand, yada, yada, yada. And then it talks about 3 layers. It says the launch is no longer a building constraint. SpaceX captured roughly 82% of that global demand. Constellations are becoming infrastructure. LEO broadband, Starlink, yada, yada, yada. And then now it says AI demand is now reshaping space and vice versa. So it talks about the AI's impact. So this is super, super interesting. It talks about market sizing and growth, industry, supply, value chain. I mean, this is stuff that is, of course, really, really useful if you're trying to get a lot of research that a lot of people do miss. So you can see the competitive players here, all of these different stocks and how insanely valued they are. Like you can see Astis is valued, at 100 times EV to sales. You can see these other ones. There are some other plays here that maybe you want to be looking at in terms of the investments. You can see the differentiator here. This is a profitable cash cow. So I might be looking at IRDM. And remember, guys, these are publicly traded companies. So this is why this is super, super useful. That's one of the things that I clicked here. You can see Luna. This is 5 times EV to sales. You can see the market caps here are a lot lower. So, I might be looking at some of these companies like IRDM and Luna. And yeah, you can literally see that this stock has been on an absolute tear since February. This stock has doubled since February, which is pretty insane. So since 2026, this stock has nearly tripled. I mean, it's one of those small companies, but you can see a lot of these IoT stocks are starting to become a lot more valuable as time goes on. So it will definitely be interesting to see, how these things are increasingly valued amongst other players. And so if we continue to go down, you can see that there are other companies here like Sats, EchoStar. Of course, you've got Nvidia, which is, of course, we already know just how insane they are in terms of valuation. And then we can check the brief profiles where RKLB sits in terms of all of that, the valuation context. And we can see it says investors are pricing newer space names against the future infrastructure rather than current cash flows. SpaceX's potential IPO, a rumored 1.75 trillion valuation against $20 billion of revenue, sets the benchmark and explains why public peers can sustain elevated multiples for now. That's a really, really key thing, because remember when I spoke about before, how to value the stock. This is one of the things that you have to take into account. You can't just take into account purely cash flows, numbers. You need to take into account the entire market sector to look at where the stocks actually are, because it's always, you always need to be context aware. So it says, why the risk reward looks framed, the highest leverage names to the convergence, the cleanest cash flow exposure. I mean, it says key debates to resolve. So you can see here, these are the key 5 areas. You got 5 different questions that you need to basically ask if the stock can continue running higher. So you've got, does Neutron fly in 2026, which is completely useful? Does Astas continue delivering coverage? Is orbital compute real? Is that, demand for AI, is it going to be real? And how does SpaceX IPO repricing, flow through? I mean, is it going to, crash? Is it going to, go down? It's going to be really, really interesting. So, I mean, this document, I think that this is super, super useful. And this is, I've done a lot of different tools when it comes to stock AI research. And this is, this skill of how they've organized everything. This definitely is super, super useful for those of you who are trying to become better investors. And then so now let's actually look at the earnings reviewer. So I'm going to do earnings analysis here. And then what I will do is I'll actually say RKLB. So now what it's going to go do is now going to go ahead and analyze the earnings of RKLB. So this is going to be super, super interesting. This is going to be super, super interesting because I really want to see how it analyzes the earnings. And we do know that last time the earnings was here, it literally popped 20%. And so here, what we're going to do is we are going to look at Q1. Then what rating should you carry? We're going to actually try to look at their path to profit, because that is one thing I really want to look at. And then the rating, we're going to look at buy. We're going to make it decide based on results. And then for the output format, I'm going to just give it a flash notes. And then we're going to let this thing go off and do what it needs to do. And so here you can see we actually get the final docx and the flash note. So if we just view this, it's going to be super useful. So here you can see it gives us the rating. And remember, the rating here says buy, and it gives us a 12 months price target, which is $110, which is, only a 10% upside from the recent $100 level, which is pretty interesting because, a lot of people might be hopping into buy, but in recent analysis videos, we know that this is pretty overvalued with a recent run up. So you can see the revenue is actually plus 6%, year over year, 63% growth. It's above guide, plus 600 BPS, plus 700 BPS is insane. This is improved year over year. This is improved. And the backlog, you can see that there's a 20% here and 108% year over year, which is absolutely insane. So it says the path to profitability. We can literally see there is a steep line of improvement for RKLB, which is really nice. So it's actually good that Claude can put all this information into a figure, which is really nice. And then you can it gives us these sources here, which is super useful. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing that I would say is super useful if you're trying to use AI to actually act as your stock investor. And with these financial agents that Claude has been releasing, I think more and more people are going to start to realize just how useful they are. A quick tidbit I will say is that the usage limits are absolutely insane. Right now, Claude is still very much expensive. I mean, you can see literally my current session here. I've used around 100% of my current usage, which is absolutely insane. So, I mean, of course, make sure that you guys manage your, usage limits. Of course, I'm just on Pro, which isn't a lot, but it makes sense to, understand that 100% usage, and that was only 3 different things. So just be careful when you're, using this Anthropic stuff. As always, guys, if you want to join the AI investing community, this is a community focused on individuals who are using AI to invest and get better at trading, all of that stuff around finance. And so there are absolutely full courses on everything. I've got the Claude full course. I've got the Claude full course, the Hermes agent full course. There is one on stocks, all the different ways you can use it. There is one on all the different agents you can use. And there will be, some new ones coming out as well as on OpenClaw. And of course, it's just a great place to be because there is so much that people are not missing out. This is going to be the first link in the description. And if you guys enjoy the video, see you in the next one.